Hey family, thank you so much for stopping by. I'm glad y'all could make it to sit down and chat with me tonight. And if this is your first time here and you like the content, make sure you hit that subscribe button on your way out. So today guys, I'm going to do a review on the latest episode of Iyanla Fix My Life. It was called Engaged and Enraged, a couple in crisis. And before we get into this, I just wanted to say that if you ask for help, you really have to be willing to receive it. You got to be open to receive it, because if not, you're kind of wasting everybody's time in the process. And I think that really fits this particular couple, but you'll see as we dig into this. So we dig in. It's Raymond and Jillian. Raymond is 37, Jillian is 36. Raymond has type 2 diabetes and he had to get his leg amputated. So, I'm sure that has brought on a whole lot of issues in that particular relationship. Also, they kind of rushed into this engagement as it is. So, when you rush into things, I don't know, you really don't know the person all that well, and you don't know what you fully getting into because you're just blinded by love, infatuation, whatever you want to call it. So, at any rate, Iyanla sits down with Jill, or Jillian, the fiance, and she's basically explaining to Iyanla her past experiences and relationships. She tells her that she's always had boyfriends that took care of her and, treated her like a princess. They spent a lot of money on her, paid bills, took her out to dinner, all that stuff that us ladies like, you know. However, in this particular situation, Jillian feels like the roles have been reversed, and she's the one that has to, pay all the bills. She feels like she's always the one that has to be in control. And, as a woman, we want our man to step up and take care of things. So that's her inner conflict with the relationship. And she kind of explains to Iyanla that she loves the way that he loves her. So I was sitting there like, do you really love him, or do you like the fact that he's in love with you? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking that even though she might have had guys that took care of her and everything, maybe they didn't really love her all like that. They had the financial means, but maybe they didn't have that component of really caring for her. Maybe they didn't value her like they should have. So, Ayanla, asked her, like, what are your issues with Raymond? And I guess Ayanla alludes to not only, him being amputated and not being able to do things that other men are able to do, but just his performance in the bedroom. And, she basically says, like, he's not really able to please me like I want to be pleased because of the meds and whatnot. So she's explaining to her that you need to be aware of all of these things before you jump into this marriage. And maybe that's something she hasn't thought about. Maybe she's been so focused on, like, petty things, arguments and stuff, that she hasn't really thought about what she's getting into. So next, Ayanla sits down with Raymond, or Ray, um, and she asks him, how do you plan on moving forward with your health challenges as a man? Like, how do you see yourself in the future being able to be a man with, kind of being, disabled? You weren't the man that you were before. So he's explaining to her that he can't really control anything, and he feels that Jillian is, wears the pants in a relationship. She controls everything, and he doesn't like that. Um, Iyanla explains to him that he needs to be able to manage and identify the realities of the situation. So she puts up a cue card, and I'm just going to let you guys listen to what she said. But it was basically like the duties of a man. which was, it was pretty interesting.
Protect, provide, perform, and please.
Can you do this one right now?
I can.
How?
And give her a sense of security. She understands that I can't protect her no matter what happens.
Okay. This one right here.
Provide.
Can you do that right now?
Right now, no.
No. That's all we got. What about this?
Perform. Perform what? As a husband?
Man, as a partner. I heard you were saying you can't bring the groceries in, you can't stand on your leg 4 hours. If she wants to send you to do something, some of it you can do, some of it you can't do. Right. So we got some challenges here. And then this one. I'm talking right here in the bedroom.
No, I can't do that. Yeah.
So, she's basically telling him a man needs to protect, provide, perform, and please. And do y'all agree with that? Do you think those are the only duties that a man should have in a relationship? I think those are the top four. You got to be able to protect. Otherwise, like, what do we need you for? But at any rate, I do feel like those 4 P's are very important. Yeah, they're important. I don't know. I don't know if Ray is able to do all of those. He can do, I think, some of them to a certain extent. I don't know. And as far as Jillian, like, it's all, I guess, what she's comfortable with. If she's okay and if their relationship is strong enough to withstand the things that he's not able to do, like if their love is that strong, if it worked for them, I guess. But not being able to provide, I don't know how he brings in money exactly, but that's always a big issue in relationships. Money, it's hard to be happy when you're struggling. Okay? It is hard to be happy when you're struggling. And as far as like pleasing, like the intimacy and sex part, like you can be intimate without having sex. So if she cool without, the actual acts, then I guess it's all good for them. I guess it just depends on the person. And there's other things you can do besides, penetration. It's all good. It's all good. So let's see here. Yeah, the next thing Iyanla does is she talks a little bit about love and respect with Raymond, and how love and respect are 2 totally different things. You can love somebody without having any respect for them at all, which is true. Like, I think some guys, when they get in relationships, they'll say, oh, I love a girl, but then they'll do things like go out and cheat on her and beat on her and everything else because they have no respect for her at all. They might love her, but their actions don't show it. And I think that's what Iyanla was trying to explain to this. So y'all take a listen to this clip here.
And do you ever ask her, what do you think about the fact that you get ready to marry a man who falls out the bed because he only got one leg?
I have not did that.
Well, you need to ask her.
I think her answer is just because I love him. That's what it is. That's what she says.
Loving a man and respecting the person are 2 completely different things. She can love you to death and don't have no respect for you.
I believe she has respect for me.
How much respect can she have for you? And she got to control everything and dismiss what you do and take over and hold the reins. That's not respectful, beloved. That's not respectful. She is very clear that you're trying to marry someone you love as opposed to building a partnership with somebody you respect.
Okay.
That hit a button. What's going on in here?
I believe I shared what's going on with inside of me, and I just need to find out what's going on with inside of her.
Okay, well, let's see if we can find out.
So I think Iyanla was more so just trying to explain to him that yes, Jillian loves you, but how how is it enough that she loves you if she doesn't respect you? If she feels like she has to do anything or everything for you and control the relationship, do you really feel like she's happy? Most women want a man that they respect and can depend on. So if she doesn't have that, does she really love you? I can see the connection there, you know. I don't know. So guys, next, Iyanla, Ray, and Jillian all sit down together. And let me see what happens next. Oh, they have their first exercise here. So they're playing a game. It was kind of like the newlyweds game, and they're seeing how well they know each other. So the first question she asked was, who was the first to say I love you? And I believe Ray answered, I was the first one. He knew like right away within the first couple of weeks. And then she asked about their first argument, and it was about Raymond drinking the last of her Cokes. I guess, girl. I don't know. That says a lot about Jillian. Like, how old are we? Like, I don't know. That seemed really immature to me. Like, you got that mad about a Coke. But I guess it was like this big thing, which we learn more about later. The next question was their pet peeves. And Jillian does not like to be corrected, which is very telling. If you're dealing with somebody who can't receive any type of corrective criticism or correction, like with any relationship, whether it be a friendship or a romantic relationship, how do you expect that relationship to grow if you can't take criticism? I don't know, girl. Like, Ray might have, physical issues, but like Jillian seemed like she had a lot of character flaws, like character flaw issues. So I don't know. I don't know. She don't seem like she's willing to really commit to the process. Let me see what else happened here. So the next scene, Iyanla asked them, and this was part of their homework exercise as well, what would you do if you weren't able to marry the other person and you actually lost them? So Jillian was still like resistant to the process, resistant to getting help, resistant to correction. She says, well, I'm not answering that. And she was just real, I don't want to say combative, but she just wasn't committed to the process. She refused to answer the question. She felt like Iyanla was trying to break them up. And Iyanla says, like, you didn't come here because you knew all the answers, and you didn't come here for the easy questions. You want to get to the nitty gritty. You want to answer those hard questions before you guys commit to this marriage. And she refused to answer. So, cut to Raymond, she asked him the same thing. And he's like basically saying that that's not a possibility of us not being married. I'm going to do everything that I need to do for us to get married. I'm like, okay. Clearly, both of y'all just ain't really trying to get help. I think Iyanla was trying to say, how would life be if this person wasn't in your life and you had to move forward without them? It's just a question. It's just a question. Just answer it and see where she's going with it. If y'all didn't want the help, I don't know why y'all came. But whatever. I don't know. Like, what did y'all come for? So let's see what's happening next. So I don't know, guys. From this point on, it kind of went downhill. Ray got kind of, flitty. Kind of flitty with Iyanla. Basically told her that I don't like what you said yesterday, and I'll let y'all listen to this clip.
You want to do this? How you want to do this? I'll do it however y'all want me to do it.
We would like to do it your way, please.
You want to do it my way. How do you want to do this?
We can do it your way, but essentially there's some things on that card that you really still don't understand about me. I do perform, I do protect, and I do provide.
Did I say I didn't understand these things?
No, you told me that I didn't do all of these things.
No, baby, I did not say you did not do this. I asked you very clearly, how do you feel you're doing these things?
Yeah, but then you said that I do not provide when it comes to finances. You don't know that I don't provide. You don't know if I have any income, do you?
I never said you don't provide.
You do.
Everything I hear, I asked you your perspective.
Mm-hmm.
You told me no. I did not tell you you didn't provide.
You did say that I do not provide. That's what you said. You did.
Okay. Because, see, for me, I look at life from the sunshine to the moonlight, from the tornado to the butterfly. It's all a possibility, beloved. And anytime you close yourself off to any part of that, you attract it to you. I want to know what's going on in your consciousness as a man in love with a woman who feels she's controlling him and won't say that. I want to know why you don't tell him you resent him.
Okay, so y'all heard the first clip. She didn't really put words in his mouth. She asked the question and he answered. So at the time, that's how he was feeling. So I don't know if he felt some type of way because he was sitting right next to Jillian and he felt like he had to cover up. But obviously, he must be somewhat insecure about the 4 P's. You know, because he wouldn't have answered that way. He felt some type of way about it. It's not like she put words in his mouth. So it just another way of, you know, them not really hearing, being open to the process. I feel like they kind of already have their minds made up and they're not really trying to improve. I feel like there's, you know, they want to say like, oh yeah, we got help, we got counseling, but at the same time, they're not really willing to dig deep into the heart of their problems for whatever reason. And I kind of got the vibe that they're still relatively young, I guess, but they are like late 30s. I'm like, maybe they kind of feel like they have to stick with each other because this might be their last option. I don't know. It just kind of seemed like they got this codependency, toxic codependency going on that I don't know. They got issues. So, cut to the next scene. Iyanla sits down with Raymond again to basically, you know, let him know that I did not put words in your mouth. She plays the tape back for him, and she basically is telling him, like, you guys don't seem to listen. Y'all don't hear things. Y'all make things up in your mind, and you make them true. And that's what it seems like. They're not willing to listen. They just have like something in their mind, and that's what they're gonna stick to. That's how they see things. So she also brings up that they weren't, you know, all the way forthright with the whole first argument discussion. So, you know, we mentioned that they got into an argument about Ray drinking the last Coca-Cola in the refrigerator, but come to find out, Jillian was so drunk and irate that particular night that she called the police on him for drinking the last Coke. And I know y'all done heard them, you know, people getting into arguments and eating the last piece of fried chicken or the last pork chop. But I'm like, this stuff is real. It really happened. So I don't know. I don't think there was any physical violence involved. But since the cops were called out, they were like, one of y'all got to go to jail, you know, since we had to respond to this call. And Ray spent the night in jail over drinking the last Coke. I'm like, oh my God. Like, really? So Iyanla's like, do you think this is normal? Do you think this is okay? And he's like, well, no. And she's like, well, why didn't you send her drunk ass to jail? And he's like, well, I would rather, you know, myself be in jail than her. And she's like, well, you the one in the wheelchair? Like, so clearly they got a lot of issues going on. So I don't know why they trying to act like everything is just hunky-dory and it's cool. And I don't know. So I guess, you know, Ray finally says, you know, this is where he's starting to see her perspective with things. Like maybe Iyanla is on to something. So he's like, yeah. He finally admits to like, yeah, I do want to admit that she's controlling and we need change. And there is a lack of communication going on there. So let me see what happened after that, y'all. Yeah, Iyanla is basically saying to him, like, you guys have this hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil type of thing going on. And until y'all get real about this, y'all not going to get anywhere. Y'all preparing for this wedding, but y'all not preparing for the marriage. And they basically are. Like, in the beginning, they were explaining how they made all these plans for the day and the cakes and the decoration and the bridesmaids. But as far as the marriage, they haven't done the work. So cut to the next thing, and this is where things just totally fall apart. Jillian left for the night, so Iyanla and Ray could do some more talking or whatever, and I'm just going to let y'all listen to this next clip.
I wanted to, before we start our work today, just have a quick conversation about
how unprofessional you guys are for making me sit there for 2 hours.
Now, why is that unprofessional for you?
I didn't get an update, anything. Don't tell me to check out of my hotel room at 9 and then sit there till 11:30 with nobody telling me, updating me, somebody's coming. I could have stayed in the room.
But see, the thing that I wanted to talk to you about was that right there.
What are you talking about? I'm
That
haven't raised my
attitude,
voice.
that you don't have to.
I'm taking
You
you
don't
on a
have
calm
to.
nature.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. I'm talking
that's
to you
what-
like you're talking to me.
I'm telling you how I'm experiencing it.
Okay.
And if you do it to me, who you don't know, if you do it to me, who you came for help,
How you do it to me for
unsure-
you don't know? You don't sit your guests who you're trying to supposedly help in a lobby for 2 hours without updating them. That's rude. You're
Here's
trying
the
to stir
way.
up drama by making me sit at this hotel. You think I'm a fool?
What the-
I know how TV work. You're going to have me sit here so I can get riled up because this is for your
No, it
ratings
isn't.
on this show.
No, it isn't.
Okay, ma'am.
Let me tell you what happened today.
Because I don't feel healed. How about that?
Well, how about we haven't done the work?
We can't
How
get
about
to the
we
work
can't get
'cause
to the
you
work until
are
you
being unprofessional.
until you get ready to release that energy. I could have come out here and continue to move on, but my concern for you to be able to do this work is that I wanted to clear that energy. So you've made up what this was about. I've been working with Ramon, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is what you're taking into the marriage. And this is what he has to deal with.
I'm not taking
And
this
are
into
you
marriage for
aware
him. I don't
that
talk to
this
him
is
like
the
this
level of
'cause he
stress?
respects
It doesn't
me.
matter whether or not you talk to him. It's in your energy. You're bringing it in the room with you.
So, yeah, it went all downhill. Iyanla and Ray were working together that morning, and I guess the staff were late picking up Jillian. And Jillian, as usual, she making up some story in her mind. That they did it on purpose. They made her wait in the lobby for 2 hours on purpose so they could, amp up the show, get some hype around the show. And Iyanla is trying to explain to her, like, nah, girl, it was really just a mistake. So, Jillian was being nice, nasty as usual. And I don't know how I felt about this, guys. Like, they were wrong. The crew was wrong. And someone should have apologized to her. I don't know if anyone did. But I think, from my understanding, like, Jillian was already being kind of nice, nasty with the crew anyway. So maybe it was some animosity there. But they should have definitely apologized. But Jillian's energy was just so nasty. Like, things happen. People are late sometimes. Like, you got the right to be angry, but your attitude is just horrible. You can't go through life like that because shit happens. Stuff happens. Find out what happened, get the apologies going, and let's move forward. There's no reason to be nasty like that. And Iyanla was explaining to her, like, if you're willing to do this to a stranger that you barely know, I know you do it with somebody that you're comfortable with. She was like, yo, energy, I can feel it off you. So I know you're doing it to Raymond if you're laying down with him every single night. So I don't know. Jillian still wasn't trying to receive none of that, and she wasn't trying to hear Iyanla at all. So Iyanla, you know, she cut it. She just cut the whole show. And it's unfortunate because I would have liked to have seen what happened or how they were able to heal. But at the end of the day, they weren't willing to commit to the process. They think they know everything. They had these stories made up in their head, and they were committed to staying together. And anybody who tried to challenge them on that, I don't know. I don't know. They just wasn't trying to hear it. So Iyanla didn't fix this one, but you can't fix something if people ain't willing to let you fix it. So what are you gonna do? It was still a good episode, you know, just watching people, especially with someone who has had a physical ailment that they received while you were in the course of a relationship. It's one thing to meet someone and they're in a disabled condition, but to meet them and they were like fully whole, and then the challenge of sticking with them after they go through this particular I can't think of the word, y'all. I don't know. Just becoming disabled at some point. I'm sure it takes a big toll on the relationship. And it would have been nice to see how people can move forward in that type of situation. But oh well. At the end of the show, they said that they were still engaged. So I don't know. Hopefully they'll work it out, but it don't look good. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this commentary. Make sure you like and subscribe if you like the content, and I will see you next time. Peace.